All right, so I figured I'd start with a sneak peek of what we're going to be doing. As you can see, we're going to figure out the toggling between third person and first person. So here I am in first person. Here I am in a wonky third person, but we'll go ahead and fix that. Don't know what that glitch is. Actually, I think I do. Maybe I'll fix it in a later video. But anyway, this is what we're going to be doing. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and figure out how I did this. To get started, we're going to work right here in the editor. There's not a lot of prep work to do, but we do need to set up a new action. We're going to add it right to our camera action section here. So this one here is just going to be a toggle. So we'll call it toggle player view. All right, and we're just going to assign this, say number 4. There we go. All right, now we should be all set in the editor. We're going to go ahead and jump over to the code. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is come over to the player header file. We're going to go ahead and create a section. And we're going to start off by creating a Boolean, which is going to check to see if our player is in the first person or third person view. We're going to call it B is third person view. And because we're going to start in the third person view, we'll set it to true. And now we need to declare a function. We'll call it toggle player cam. And from here, we're going to go over to our CPP file. And we're going to go ahead and start with the action binding. And we're going to go ahead and put it right underneath here. And for good practice, I'll type this out. And with this done, we're going to assign this parameter to number 3. So we can put that into our if statement down below. Right here in the change view, we just need to go ahead and add another else if. And this is going to, of course, check if it's number 3. And right here, we're going to actually do is call the same if statement as the first one. So we're going to immediately default it to set to the player cam. This is just in case you're trying to toggle views outside of the actual third person view. Like if you're in one of the fixed static cams, this will force you back to the player cam. So the next thing we're going to do is have it call our function that we're going to need it to run, which is going to be the toggle player cam, which I have in the clipboard. So I'll go ahead and actually paste that in, make some adjustments to it, get rid of that void, and add a break. And now let's go down and actually start defining our function. We'll go ahead and put it right here. Put our curly braces in. Make sure we do our call function there at the A player character. We'll just copy and paste it right into place, like so. And now what we're going to do is an if statement, which we're going to use to actually check the B is third person. And we're going to go ahead and actually use this and toggle it from within this function. Now, just for debugging, we'll go ahead and add an on-screen message. All right, so the trick to get this to work is we're actually going to use the camera boom. And what we're going to do is actually mess with the target arm length right there. And to go to first person view, we're going to set that to 0. All right, the next thing I want to do is make sure that we set this to false. So B is third person equals false. And now, because of changing the target arm length is going to force the camera into our player character, it will cause some glitching. So to handle that glitching, we're going to go ahead and make our character disappear by using a character set hidden character in game to true, which is essentially going to hide our character for us while in first person view. And you may recall in earlier videos we disabled the ability to steer our character with the mouse. So I'd like to re-enable that while in first person view and then toggle between them as well. So we'll just copy that section of code and bring it down here. And we're going to go ahead and paste it in. All right, so now let's go ahead and start the else part of our condition here. And to do that, we'll just type else, get our curly braces in, and of course come up top here and copy it all. And we'll go ahead and paste it in here, and now we'll make some changes to it. We're going to change the message here to just be set to third person. The target arm length, we're going to make sure to set that back and put the Boolean back to true again. Make our character visible again in the scene, and now we need to set these to true so we can steer our character with our mouse while we're in first person view. And at this point, we've done quite a bit of work, so we're just going to go ahead and try to build it and see what we have. But before we do that, we'll comment out this section in here so I can show you the glitchiness that happens when you put the camera length to 0. And I can already see we're going to have to rebuild this. I see right there we need to get rid of a 0. So when this gets done, we'll go ahead and rebuild. All right. Let's go ahead and give this a whirl. See what we have. All right, so here's our third person view, our corner cam, top cam, and it's not working. Okay, so I must have missed something. Well, let's go take a look. Our bind action is toggle player view. I'll copy that and bring it over here just to make sure. Yeah, that's what it was right there. So let's go ahead and compile and retry this. And again, we're going to do it twice because I'll show you what this feature helps us out with. All right, so let's go on over and play this, and corner, top, and toggle. There we go. So there's our first person, and there's the glitch. See how you can see my head and my shoulder? So that's what that prevents. So what we can do is go back into the code and uncomment those 2 lines. Compile and save it, of course. And then just go ahead and replay it. Once we go in, no glitching. All right. So again, I hope this helped everybody, and we'll see you in the next one.